Okay, great people. We'll say a beautiful Tuesday morning to you from the Integrity Station. We're broadcasting live this morning, Splash 105.5 FM, right here from the big city of Ibadan, capital of your state, Nigeria. Welcome on board SportsBang, the second edition for this week. Remember that 7:30 to 8 o'clock every day, we travel together through the exciting world of sports. And this morning, yes, we have a whole lot lined up for your listening pleasure from the world of Formula One, staring at me, interested. Juice's story. Day 2 of the Australian Open also gets our attention today. The world of basketball is, brimming with a lot of interesting stories. Remember, we're also counting down towards the National Sports Festival. Hopefully, it will happen, in this month of February.
Like seriously, blessing.
Are you the one playing?
Come on.
It has been confirmed it won't happen, so let's get your mind off it.
I wanted to get your response. I think it was it Feromi or Ayabanya Animasha who was dead sure some weeks ago that look.
It has to be why. It can't be me.
Because it's not here, right? Because it's not here.
Because I know that these things are not really certain in Nigeria. This kind of country where nothing is really sure until it actually happens.
We understand.
Yeah.
We understand. It is what it is. Okay. It's a good time to talk about sports. The 9th day in the month of February, year 2021. It's important we say that just so you know that it is live this morning. You can watch us on our Facebook fan page. We're here doing our business. Splash 105.5 FM. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. Yes, unofficially, my friends have already welcomed you. Let me start with a blessing for where. It's a pleasure to have you on board SportsBang today.
It's a pleasure to be here as well. Tunde, good morning to you. Good morning, Feromi, and of course to the city of Ibadan. Great to be back here. Super Tuesday. Although it's not a Tuesday with so much optimism because of the postponement of the National Sports Festival.
Really?
Yes. It's not like I was.
Are you sure you're not the one jinxing our sports festival?
Why would it be me? It's not
because
like
of the skepticism you show every time.
It's not like I was so sure. No, it was. We are looking at a week. In fact, it is now about days. It's supposed to be on Sunday, which today is the 9th.
9th, yeah.
How many days?
14th.
Maybe by 4 days, 14th. And as at last week, the buzz was nowhere to be found. I mean, there was absolutely nothing indicating whether it would go on at all. The athletes have been preparing for the longest possible time. They do not know what the future will hold. I remember last Wednesday when we were with the Oyo State Sports Council, discussing about it, and they were like, okay, they just keep training and training and training. They themselves don't even know. They were not sure. Information wasn't coming from the top at all. So you understand why I felt a bit. I'm feeling a bit, very sad about that, because this is supposed to be, our games that we should take with so much seriousness.
Okay. Good morning to you, Blessing.
Good morning.
Regardless.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning to you, Sunday. Good morning to you, Blessing. Good morning to our wonderful listener.
Paint a more positive picture.
I wish I could anyway, but then it is just not, it's not possible, because we were hoping that this would actually happen. I mean, we've been on this for over 6 months now, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, since last year, before the election, right there, they never said anything about the fact that there was no money. Election came, they had spent a lot of money right there in the election. They didn't complain that there was not going to be money to actually, host this. And after they actually, got what they wanted, now they feel that, they can actually sideline something that is a lot of people's, that puts food on a lot of people's table and all that. I think, we shouldn't actually tend to do things like this in this part of the world. This shows lack of organization as far as I'm concerned.
So you're coming from a standpoint that maybe the government of Edo State somehow gaslighted.
That's just the way it is, because what logical explanation can they give us at this point in time? I mean, we have been in this, they can't give me the excuse that because of pandemic. We've been in this pandemic for, almost going to a year now, right here in Nigeria since March, if I could remember. And
political rallies have gone on and on.
Exactly. So you can't tell me because we are in pandemic, there's financial crisis, that's why we can host, the National Sport Festival that has actually been budgeted for, even before the election.
But it's still valid. I mean, you can't spend what you don't have.
It was not valid before the election.
Yes, but now
it's valid.
Now you need the money.
Oh, really?
And they don't have it.
Oh, really?
Okay. Never mind. There are so many important stories on our table people this morning outside of the National Sports Festival. Of course, that one is getting a lot of people angry, understandably so. But hey, it is what it is. But what we're getting, and we have something to that effect on our Facebook fan page this morning. So please do well to drop your comment about the National Sports Festival. The federal government has committed to all the National Sports Festival tagged Edo 2020 as stakeholders reviewed events that will culminate in hosting of the Sports Fiesta that was earlier postponed in response to outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The commitment came as the National Council on Sports, the Edo State government, and the federal government agreed on April 2021 dates in place of the earlier schedule, which was initially February 14 to the 28th of this same month. Rising from the meeting of the National Council on Sports on Monday, Council resolved that it was best to shift the festival to a later date due to financial challenges raised by the all states, accommodation problems at the University of Benin due to the resumption of academic activities, which would affect the camping of athletes. According to the resolution of the Council, the federal government, Edo State, and the Council on Sports agreed that the festival will now hold in April since the earlier February date was no longer feasible. Speaking during a media briefing after a stakeholders virtual meeting yesterday, Sunday Dare, the Honorable Minister said government was forced to postpone the festival again because of developments beyond their control.
We announced the 14th of February to the 28th at the close of December last year. Unfortunately, because of developments beyond our control, but mindful of the second wave and its virulence, and because we have insisted that we'll be properly guided, all along we had worked very closely with the PTF, inclusive of the NCDC. We've made several trips, the Ministry of Health, to Edo State to check the preparedness. And even though Edo State is prepared, the infrastructures, sporting infrastructure are in place, the COVID-19 infrastructure in place, we're mindful of the COVID-19 second wave. And of course, the issue of the cost implication of the postponement. So it's been decided that the sports festival will still hold, but no longer start this 14th of February. A futuristic date in April will be announced, and again, will be properly guided. The sports festival, I must emphasize, is Nigeria's version of the Olympics. So it's really important. This is an Olympic year. We're barely 4-5 months to the Olympic. We pick some of our top athletes, our young athletes, from the sports festival. So in an Olympic year, holding such a sports festival is inescapable. But again, we're properly guided, and we hope and pray that in April, we can bring this festival on. It's also important because over 14,000 of those involved are the youth, the young people. Some of them, for over 1 year, have remained inactive without any source of revenue. And we think that being able to hold this sports festival will keep our youth busy.
Okay, Honorable Sunday Dare speaking there, the Minister for Youth and Sports in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has PTA was offered to vaccinate athletes for the National Sports Festival and those that are Olympics bound in a boost to Nigeria's rapid resumption of sporting activities. Let us know what you think about this. You can drop your comment on our Facebook fan page this morning. Quickly, let's check out Formula One, where world champion Lewis Hamilton has signed a 1-year contract with Mercedes for the 2021 season. The 36-year-old's previous deal lapsed in 2020, but he will now race for Mercedes for a 9th season. Hamilton became the sport's most successful driver ever in 2020, breaking Michael Schumacher's all-time win record and drawing level with the German's 7 titles. Part of the new deal involves a commitment from Mercedes to continue to work with Hamilton on seeking greater diversity and inclusion in motorsports. They will work on creating a new joint charitable foundation, and Hamilton says the manufacturer has been extremely supportive on the issue. Well, team boss Toto Wolff said the duration of the contract was a consequence of the lateness of the talks, which was caused by them having to delay negotiations when Hamilton contracted COVID in December and their mutual desire to see how the world develops. It is interesting that all is now settled. Wolff said the global situation could have an impact on the team's revenue, while Daimler as a group is aiming to invest in electrification, adding, and I quote, "We're living a financial reality that is very different from a few years ago." Quickly from tennis, defending champion Sofia Kenin made a nervous start to her Australian Open defense, while former winner Victoria Azarenka was knocked out after seeming to struggle with her breathing. American Kenin was in tears before a 7-5, 6-4 win over Australian wildcard Madison Inglis. Meanwhile, Azarenka needed an inhaler in a 7-5, 6-4 defeat by Jessica Pegula. The Belarusian, who won the title in 2012 and 2013 and was a U.S. Open finalist in September, was one of the 72 players who went through a hard quarantine after arriving in Australia, where she was confined to a hotel room for 14 days. The 12th seed had played only one match since coming off a quarantine, having pulled out of a warm-up event last week with a lower back issue. Kenin is joined in the next round by Gabi Muguruza, whom she beat in last year's final after the Spaniard's comfortable 6-4, 6-love win over Margarita Gasparian, while 11th seed Belinda Bencic and former semi-finalist Ellis Mertens also advanced. We're still telling you about the Australian Open. American 16-year-old Coco Gauff, who had a stunning run to the fourth round last year, won an opener against Jill Tickman 6-3, 6-2 to set up a meeting with Ukrainian fifth seed Elina Svitolina, who beat Mari Buskova 6-3, 7-6. And we're talking about the men right now. Novak Djokovic started the defense of his Australian Open title by dropping just 6 games in a dominant win over Francis Jeremy Chardy in Melbourne. The Serbian top seed is to a 6-3, 6-1, 6-2 victory to extend his 100% winning record against Chardy to 14 times, 14 matches, if you like to put it that way. Austrian third seed Dominic Thiem, German sixth seed Alexander Zverev, and Australia's Nick Kyrgios also won. But French 10th seed Guy Monfils broke into tears after being on the receiving end of the biggest shock so far. Australian Open on the way, and we're just so excited to, tell you, give you blow-by-blow event of how each day goes on SportsBang.
And the fact that we even have some fans back on, in the stand, it makes it really much more interesting as well. And, it's giving all the players, some of the players now, the confidence that they need. But for someone like Guy Monfils, he didn't get that confidence because he hasn't played for over a year. And, I saw the video of him at the press conference where he broke down. I mean, it was so emotional. And, he said he has zero confidence. There's no confidence riding into it for him. But for his girlfriend, on the other hand, there's Svitolina. She maybe has the confidence at this point. And, of course, she's moved to the next round of the tournament. And we wait to see what happens eventually. But there are some games that are played this morning. Rafael Nadal is in action. He played earlier today, and of course he won his own game. It's moved to the next round. He dropped some games in the process, but of course he was in straight set at the end of the day. And there's this Nigerian Osigwe. I'm trying to remember her first name now. Osigwe is her surname. Nigerian American, you want to say, but of course she's not competing under the Nigerian flag, but she's competing under the American flag. Yeah.
Where would the Nigerian flag take you?
maybe we'll look towards the likes of Mary Love Edwards or Oyinlomo Quadri. Maybe they are the ones who would fly the Nigerian flag at any of this Grand Slam event in tennis later on in
All
future.
All
the best.
Now, I think it's important. Early days, you would say, for obvious reasons, blessing, I'm not going to be backing Rafael Nadal to go all the way.
I know you won't, but I'll back him anyway.
So you know who I'm backing?
Of course I do. I know who you're backing.
Okay. You want to say?
Roger Federer, of course. I know.
Sorry. In the Australian Open?
Oh, I thought Federer was your fave.
Federer is not in this.
Okay.
Then it has to be Novak.
Novak Djokovic, of course, I understand.
So
I thought it was your
so you know where I stand right now.
Of course, I know where you stand.
Fair on me.
On your opposing sides.
Are you standing with me or you're standing against me?
I think I have to stand with you because of obvious reasons. I mean, Novak is a defending champion of this particular. It really matters, and this is a man that has actually shown consistency, especially in this particular Grand Slam. So I think putting all this together goes a long. It goes a long way.
I know you, but please don't rule out my guy. That's what I'm
not ruling him out. I'm not ruling him out.
Let's be seriously. Nobody's ruling anybody out.
We are going for 21. Number 21.
Enoche.
Blessings and we. Blessings and we.
Yes, we. This one, I claim this
with
one with my chest. I claim this one with my chest.
Be careful. Be careful. So that you don't, then suddenly miss SportsBang to say, I have to travel.
You see, I am always for Rafael Nadal. You can drag me from now to tomorrow.
You need to be here. Whatever.
Drag me from now to tomorrow. I'm always for Rafael Nadal.
Okay, quickly from basketball, the technical crew has extended invitation to 12 players for the final phase of campaign ahead of the 2021 FIBA AfroBasket qualifiers holding between Wednesday 17th of February and Sunday 21st of February. We're looking at the D-Tigers now. The senior male basketball team of Nigeria. With Nigeria sitting comfortably atop Group B after beating Rwanda, Mali and South Sudan, all eyes will be focused on the reverse fixtures which will be hosted in Tunisia. Nigerians are expected to be treated to champagne basketball when the players converge on Monastir for the third window after 6 players from France were handed a call-up. Ifeoluwa Ajayi said erst Okpalanaka, I hope I got that right, Nwachukwu Moneke may make their international debut for Nigeria after they were handed an invitation alongside a member of the 2017 AfroBasket silver winning team, Ike Nwamo, who are all based in France. Spain-based shooting guard Obina Emegano with Fallen Brother makes a return to the team alongside Ben Uzo. Ike Diogu was also not left out of the team alongside Ike Iroegbu, who emerged as one of the top performers during the last qualifying series, averaging 15.7 points as Nigeria dominated Group B. Turkey-based power forward Abdul Malik Abu and Michael Ogune will also team up with Michael Egbenije, Caleb Agada, under the tutelage of Coach Inform Odofia, who will be standing in for Coach Mike Brown. Meanwhile, some players have also been put on notice pending the conclusion and outcome of players' registration by the Federation of International Basketball Associations, FIBA. There's a long list here, but because of our time, we'll not be able to, go through all of them one after the other. Let's come back home to discuss our league, the Nigerian Professional Football League. Awali Ali Malam scored the only goal of the game as Kano Pillars extinguished FC Ifanyoba's mini revival to compound their relegation woes. Playing at home, Ifanyoba were looking to consolidate on their 2-game unbeaten run as they look to climb out of relegation troubles. Having picked a point at Atlanta FC last time out on the back of recollecting all 3 points against Wiki Tourist, the Newe side came into the fixture in high spirits, but surprisingly failed to show any fight after going behind to Malam's 23rd minute winner. So what does this mean? They remain 16th place with 8 points, 2 off safety. Victory makes it 2 wins on the bounce for Pillars, who have now moved to 4th, with 17 points. In the final fixture for match day 9, Rivers United rebounded from defeat to Katsina United last time out with a routine 2-0 victory against Nassau United in Port Harcourt. Now, the FIFA Club World Cup, Robert Lewandowski scored twice as Bayern Munich progressed to the FIFA Club World Cup final by beating Al Ahly in Qatar, just as we predicted yesterday. So not much to add to that one.
Yeah, I was quite optimistic that probably...
I was rooting for the underdog, but it didn't happen.
Definitely. But then, quality...
It was, for you, it was more in hope than confidence.
Definitely.
That Al Ahly was
everyone, as a matter of fact.
It was here yesterday.
But he actually gave a good fight, knowing fully well that, they only considered 2 goals against the world champions. It could have been if they were not as, good as they think they should be. So I think, they give a fight.
Okay, Monday night football in England and in Spain. Leeds United in the English Premier League defeated Crystal Palace 2-0, while Atletico Madrid,
Finally.
Sorry?
Atletico Madrid.
Finally dropped point.
They dropped point.
Against Celta Vigo, it ended 2-2. Luis Suarez scored twice, but it was not enough to end victory for La Liga leaders Atletico Madrid as they were held to a draw by Celta Vigo. In Ferrami's mind, it is still possible for
Barcelona to catch up.
It's very, very possible.
In your mind.
I mean,
let's take a break to catch up with the BBC Premier League update. We'll be back in a moment.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Al Ross at BBC Sport, and Leeds United have moved above Arsenal and back into the top half of the Premier League table after a 2-0 win over Crystal Palace. Jack Harrison and Patrick Bamford scored the goals, and Leeds captain Liam Cooper was delighted to see Bamford reach 100 career goals.
No, delighted for him. It's through pure hard work and determination. To play as a striker in our team is very, very difficult. He starts our press off every single time. He's an athlete and he's fit as anything, and he gives us so much to play off. So he deserves everything he gets, and here's to the next 100.
On Tuesday, attention turns to the FA Cup, where Burnley play Bournemouth and Manchester United host former boss David Moyes and his West Ham side. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team made it to the semi-finals last season, but he has higher expectations this time round.
To get to a final, sometimes you're lucky with a draw, but to win a final, then all the good teams have been beaten. So that's the next step for us in the development of this team, is to go all the way in a competition.
United's Paul Pogba is expected to be out for a few weeks with a thigh muscle injury. He was substituted during Saturday's 3-3 draw with Everton. And UEFA have confirmed Manchester City's Champions League last 16 first leg tie against Borussia Mönchengladbach will be played in Budapest. Germany has banned most travel from countries affected by new variants of COVID-19. That includes the UK. That game will take place at the Puskás Arena on February the 24th. And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Okay, there you listen to the BBC Premier League update. Great to have you back on SportsBang. Quick one, let's analyze the Spanish La Liga this season. Of course, Atletico Madrid, they are still topping the table with some considerable points.
11 points.
And, two games.
2 games, yes. Still left to play.
It depends on where
the closest has 43 points.
If you're speaking from the angle of Barcelona, you say 1 game.
Okay, well, yes, I agree.
Now, they've got just about maybe 15 games left to play.
Yes.
But then again, that's a lot.
It's a lot to play, but
do you think something might still?
It's if
the two bigger boys.
If we've learned anything from sports generally, it's never to say over. It's not over until it's over. So you could expect that maybe either of those 2 big boys could launch a late challenge. But then I would expect for Atletico Madrid and all the ruggedity that they have to hold on to that, hang on until the very end. Well, I see a situation whereby the lead might be cut into maybe 5 points rather than from being 11 points. But I've seen them totally being overhauled. I think that might be a bit difficult. I remember that season where they needed just 1 point to win the league over Barcelona, and they did just that 1 point. Remember, 2013 or thereabouts. So I think that's something that's very much ingrained inside the Atletico Madrid team.
You've already crowned them Spanish La Liga champion.
Have I crowned them? Okay, maybe 90%.
I think technically maybe they've actually won it.
Just the same way I've crowned Man City champions in England.
Yeah, definitely. I think, they've shown a lot of consistency this season, especially in the La Liga. And if you actually want to win, if you actually want to beat these likes of, Madrid and Barcelona, you have to keep doing what you know how to do.
What you've been doing.
And as in, they are doing that very well. And, added with the fact that they have a winner, someone that has the winning mentality in Luis Suarez, he has added a lot of quality going forward into that particular team. I think he scored a 16th goal yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, in the La Liga. So this is someone that was actually deemed finished right there at Barcelona. I think, with all this coupled together, defensively, they've actually considered less goals right there in the Spanish La Liga. Put all these things together, it's going to be very, very unfortunate if at the end of the day they do not actually win this La Liga. But, with the way it is going on, like I said, keep this hope. Like Blessing rightly said, maybe it might actually be cut down to 5, but I see them winning this at the end of the day.
Okay, we'll see how this will pan out. Remember, the Italian Serie A is also looking, pretty competitive this year. If you compare to some 2, 3, 4 seasons ago, where it was just Juve. Right now, AC Milan, they are sticking their neck out.
Yes.
Juve, they are still.
Inter Milan still there and there around.
Inter Milan there. So let's just see how it goes. Today in England, we have some FA Cup games, 5th round. Burnley will play host to Bournemouth, and Manchester United at home against West Ham.
On fire West Ham.
On fire West Ham.
Yes. Against Manchester United. Remember Everton.
Remember Sheffield. Remember Tunde.
You guys, I suppose we're still.
Yeah, we're still there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay. In the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid will be up against Getafe, And in Italy, the second leg, Juve versus Inter Milan. Juve will be at home with a 2-1
Advantage from the first leg, Coppa Italia.
Do you see
almost done and dusted? But I do not think it
will it be such a big upset if Inter goes
absolutely not. Absolutely not. These are two tough teams. These are two strong teams. So it wouldn't be an upset if Inter Milan, overturns the deficit from the first leg. But I feel like sometimes Juventus might be a bit vulnerable at different spells in the game. And if they can hammer on that, if they can harp on that, that can get them the victory. But like Feromi said as well, Inter Milan, you cannot trust them as well to get you the desired result when they needed it the most. I remember at some point, I think 2 weeks ago during the course of the week, where they were playing one of the Serie A games, they needed to win against the less fancied opponent, and they fluffed their chances. So you cannot trust them to do this, but
and
I feel like they might.
Conte, always find a way to disappoint in cup competition.
So that's one reason why you wouldn't trust him.
Okay, this is quite interesting. Mike Deal has asked not to officiate a Premier League game this weekend after receiving abuse and death threats on social media after handing 2 controversial red cards. Okay. Well, I mean, what referees sometimes go through. UEFA is set to outline proposals to change the format of the Champions League from 2024 in a meeting of its 55 national association members today. Maybe tomorrow, you will get all the details of some of the changes that you'd expect to have. We need to leave right now on the program. SportsBang, thanks to you all for being part of this. Feromi Adeboyega.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Looking forward to some interesting games later tonight.
Blessing for where?
Thanks for having me, but I have to take this comment on Facebook. Jimo Ibrahim says, I stand with Blessing for where on this. Rafael Nadal all the way. Thank you very much, Jimo.
Okay, I understand.
You're the MVP.
We'll be back here.
Have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.